Hi, this is Dean from Sentinel Candles, and I'm back doing another soaping video today. One of the soaps that's very popular in my shop is Lime Basil and Mandarin. And usually it doesn't matter what color it is. Green is probably green and yellow, and white is preferable. Most of it's goat's milk soap, and there's a few swirls in there as well. Now, last time I did this bar, the swirls were two small ones and one large one, but they melted a little bit so you couldn't quite see them. This time I'm not going to do that. People noticed last time that there was a little smiley face, or two eyes and a mouth, and I'm going to try and replicate that again. So I'm going to have two small curls at the top and one large curl at the bottom, with goat's milk on top and bottom. This will be green in the center here, with also a tinge of yellow as well. So let's get started. So I've melted down some green goat's milk soap that I pre-made, and I'm going to tip it in to these two molds, and I'm going to create my curls from that green soap that will go into the center of the actual bar. So I'm just going to let those set, and I'll be back to curl them in just a minute. Alright, so it seems that our curls have hardened up and they're able to be pulled out of the mold. And I've done two of them. One for the small ones and one for the big ones. Okay, so we have two here. One's really quite thick, if you can see that, and the other one is really thin. It might not seem thin, but it's actually paper thin. So this one here will be the top two eyes, and this one will be the bottom mouth. So just cut them down the center. If you've seen my other curling videos, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. So I just want to curl this like so. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So they're pretty much joined together to make one, like that. And these two will be thinner. So just like same technique to do these, except they get pushed together a little bit more, and then we stretch them out like so, and then we just pull them, and that gets a nice thin version of it. They're pretty flexible, these, when they're in this state, so don't think you can harm it, because you can't, and if you do break it, you can always remelt it back down and do it again. Okay, so we got our curls done now. The thing to do is to weigh them. Find out how much they weigh. Take it off the 1,092 grams that makes up one of these loaves, and then divide it in half again. So whatever's remaining, half of it will be used for clear soap and half of it will be used for goat's milk. So on to the next part. Okay, so I'm ready to pour the first part of this, but before I do, I'm going to have to put it on the scale, the loaf on the scale, so I can actually measure it out properly. So for the bottom part, I'm going to pour 256 grams, and I've melted down this goat's milk. Now, you don't need to spray the loaf at all, because there's obviously nothing in it, so nothing to melt. So you can pour this at whatever temperature you like. So we're going to do 256 grams. Done. Rubbing alcohol. Okay, and now we're just going to let that sit. Once that's got a skin, then we're going to add the swirls in, which are these. Then we're going to add clear base around it with some yellow mica, maybe some green mica and some white mica, make it sparkle a little bit. And then on top of that, we're going to pour another layer once that's set of goat's milk soap, which is actually the rest of what's in here now. Okay, we're back and the goat's milk has set. I melted down some clear soap that I'm going to pour into the loaf after I add my curls. Then I've got some yellow mica that I'm going to add to the top of the curls, and then I'm going to pour in the base. So hopefully the yellow will move around, but it won't be too saturated. I've also added white mica to my clear base. So let's get started and put these in. So now I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow mica and just sort of drip it in over the top. I don't want it to be too concentrated. Rubbing alcohol. So this is my clear base and I'm just going to pour it in over the top so this curl has been completely filled. Okay, so that's looking nice. It's got like a little gold swirl going through it, which is quite nice. Once that sets, I'm going to add these two and then pour the rest of this and then go back to the goat's milk and pour that over the top of it. I'm going to have to apologize. I thought the camera was on when I was doing that last bit. It wasn't. So I'll tell you what I did. I melted the rest of the clear soap. I poured it in over the top of the big curl that was in here. Then I added the two little curls inside it. Now unfortunately they're not being able to sit directly next to each other on top of the big one, and they've moved to the side because now they're sitting up against the wall and there'll be a little bit of a gap, but that's fine. That's alright. That's the clear soap done. Now I've just got to add the goat's milk soap over the top of that once that sets, and then I can cut it tomorrow. Okay, so I'm ready to pour my last layer of goat's milk soap over the top of this. The goat's milk is at a temperature of about 133 at the moment, so I'm just going to spray this and pour. So spray that. Okay, so that's it for now, and I'll unmold this tomorrow and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's the next morning and I'm gonna unmold this lime, basil and mandarin loaf. Oh yeah. Yep, that looks really good. There's a nice tinge of yellow in there too. Looks beautiful. Wow, that looks nice. Well, that turned out actually better than I had expected. So I'm very happy with the results. I got my little smiley face, so the mouth and two eyes, that's exactly what I was going for. It didn't happen on all of them, like this one over here, but in general, very happy with the results, and it smells absolutely amazing as always. That's lime, basil and mandarin. Thanks for watching.